It's a big night of high school sports in our community. The News 8 Highlight Zone starts now.
Good evening, I'm Greg Wawrinick. Playoff football is here. When teams were seeded this past Saturday, schools that got that little number 1 next to them were rightly rewarded for a great regular season and are now considered as a strong candidate to make a trip to Madison in a few weeks. Logan, one of those teams that are a 1 seed. The MBC champions open up at home facing Antigo. The Rangers had given up 1 touchdown in the first quarter all season long. Make it 2. The Red Robins, Alex Nagel finds Eric Begner for the score. It's 7-0. Upset alert? Rangers say, I don't think so. Kyle Bacalarz takes the handoff and he takes off. High stepping by defenders, taking it all the way for the score. Tied ball game at 7. Still in the first, it's Bacalarz again out of the backfield. Stiff arming, spinning, and fighting through tackles on his way into the end zone. Rangers lead 21-7. To the second quarter, Rangers up by 21. Logan QB Trey Davis drops back and hits Jared Bessel. Bessel gets inside the pylon for the score to make it 35-7. Bacalarz with 9 carries for 149 yards and 4 scores, all in the first half, as Logan cruises to a 42-7 win. Onalaska making the playoffs for the 4th consecutive season. Hilltoppers on the road at 2 seed Mosinee. Third quarter, Mosinee up 12-6, and they're looking to strike again. Landon Stepan hits Chris Biles. Biles does his best as he goes off to the races 68 yards. They extend the lead 26. The Hilltoppers down, but definitely not out. Ryan Williams with the quick strike to Nate Sweeney for the 6-yard touchdown. It's a 20-12 game. Ensuing drive. Christomsky answers right back with a TD and a heartbreaking finish for the Toppers. They miss a 21-yard field goal in the closing minutes. Mosinee wins it 28-26. A rematch from a 2010 playoff meeting as West Salem faces New Richmond. West Salem falls 41-21. Let's go to Division II. Holman makes the 3.5-hour drive up north to take on Superior. Superior's Mitch Anderson takes the handoff and burns down the sideline. He gets tackled inside the 5, setting up a little plunge up the middle. Spartans get a touchdown. More Superior as Nick Millam, who led the entire state this season with 30 TD passes, adds another to his total, hitting Jake Leibel. Holman offense not able to get much going at all this evening. Spartans keep the Vikings off the scoreboard. Holman's long trip up north ends in a 21-0 loss. Division IV, Black River Falls has had at least 1 playoff win for 2 years running now. Looking to make it 3 straight as they host Northland Pines. First play from scrimmage, Jack Sarama drops back, and he has it tipped and picked by Ryan Millis. He takes this one all the way back to the end zone for the score. It's 7-0. Later in the first, Tigers defense coming up big again. This time, Matt LaFonge picks it, takes it all the way back. It's 2 pick sixes and a 14-0 lead. But Northland Pines would answer right back on their next possession. Lance Bontrager takes it to the right, finds a hole and goes down the sideline. That makes it 14-7 Tigers. First possession of the second half. The Tigers march 80 yards down the field. That drive is capped off by this Brock Zukowski 5-yard touchdown run. That makes the score 20-7, and Black River Falls, another year, another win in the playoffs, 35-20, the final. It's a playoff matchup we have gotten every other year lately, Arcadia versus Partyville. Raiders knocked the Bulldogs out of the playoffs in 2010 and 2012. Can they add 2014 to that list? Arcadia entering the playoffs as the number 1 seed and number 3 in the state, according to WisSports.net coaches poll. First Arcadia drive of the game. Raiders on the 11. Rob Hesley with the throw in. He finds Jim Hesley in the end zone. Arcadia up 7-0. Later in the first, time expiring. Here's the toss to Arcadia running back Lee Pronczynski. But he's back to throw it. Finds Rob Hesley on the flat, and there's no one around him. Down the sideline, all the way in. 75-yard flea flicker for Arcadia to make it 14-0. To the second now, Arcadia up 21-zip. And it's more of that Hesley to Hesley magic. 33-yard touchdown pass from Rob to Jim. Raiders up 28-0. Arcadia rolls in the first round with a 59-7 win. Westby earning a 4 seed as they face Auburndale in a game played at Viroqua High School. First quarter, Auburndale marching down the field. Quarterback Wyatt Weiler finds Dylan Poplinski in the end zone for the TD, and Auburndale has a 10-0 lead. Later in the first, Auburndale nearing the red zone again. Westby forces a field goal as Alex Fike gets the 3rd down sack on the QB. It's a 13-0 game. To the third, Weiler hands off to Matthew Nicolay. He breaks free from a tackle and catches his balance before taking it in for the touchdown to make it 20-0. And that would be the final, Auburndale with a shutout over Westby. Well, it is halftime to our playoff football coverage. Division 6 and 7 are on deck. The News 8 Highlight Zone will be right back. Welcome back to the News 8 Highlight Zone. Dairyland Conference foes meeting up in Division 6. Independence Gilmanton winning the last two meetings against Melrose Mindoro. That includes an Indies 39-7 win over the Mustangs in the regular season this year. 4 minutes left in the first half. Melman Sam Boone throws it into double coverage to Aaron Scaife to the 1-yard line. Indies up 14-0. Next play, Noah Waite takes it in for the 1-yard score. Mustangs now within 7. Melman with the ball again. Ace Whitwam comes up with a huge sack for a 13-yard loss. Indies holding on to that 7-point lead at the half. Third quarter, Boone finds Eric Christofferson for the 11-yard score, but the Mustangs would miss the extra point, and that would be the difference for this one tonight. Indy Gilmanton wins tonight by a final of 14-13. Cochrane Fountain City on the road as at two-seeded Rochelle, team that's averaging nearly 40 points per game. Late first half, Hornets rolling 35-8. Handoff goes to Jared Kurzweil, who goes untouched for the score. Here are his first half stats. 9 carries, 335 yards, and 5 touchdowns. First half. Pirates respond early in the second half. Tristan Schmidtneck back to pass, hits Dylan Wolf, who finds some room and goes all the way for the score. Cuts the lead to 42-16. That performance, though, by Kurzweil was too much to overcome. CFC falls by a final of 42-30. Kickapoo Lafarge facing the #1 ranked team in Division 6, Edgar. The Wildcats' Gabe Pospila takes the Predators' punt the distance. 2-point conversion is good. It's 8-0 Edgar. The Wildcats on the move again. It's third and short, and the Predators get to Caleb Wolf, and they force the fumble. Logan Kaufman recovers it. It's Predator football, and they cash it in. Ryan Herkin takes it in for a score. 2-point conversion fails, so Kickapoo Lafarge down by 2. It's 15-6 Edgar now when Matt Hermansky goes aerial. 20 yards on the pitch and touchdown catch to Austin Burkhart. Edgar goes on to win 43-14. Also this evening, Necedah winning by 3, 10-7 over Markesan. Bangor embarks on their postseason journey, getting a #1 seed after an undefeated regular season. Their first round opponent is DeSoto. Pirates, with their backs against the wall, knocked off North Crawford last week to get into the playoffs for the 19th consecutive season. Picked this up in the third quarter. Pirates trying to get something going. Jeff Alton with the QB keeper gets the nice gain, however, would fail to capitalize any points on that drive. Later in the third, Bangor's Andrew Piskey takes the handoff outside for the touchdown. Cardinals extend their huge lead. And a great performance tonight for the Bangor defense. David Straub with a fourth quarter INT. Cardinals would run out the clock from there. Bangor with a shutout victory, 43-0 the final over DeSoto. 4 versus 5 matchup as Cashton hosts New Lisbon in a battle of Scenic Bluffs unbeaten. Eagles winning the regular season showdown. We pick it up in the second quarter. Cashton's Noah Flock on a QB sneak. Eagles take the lead, 12-8. Back comes New Lisbon. Kyle Woodward takes this one outside for an 11-yard touchdown. Rockets take the lead there and never look back. New Lisbon winning the playoff meeting. Final score, 34-12. Hillsboro rides a 3-game winning streak into their game against North Crawford. First quarter, Hillsboro's Matt Steckel takes this one for a 7-yard TD. Hillsboro up 8-0. Later on in the first, it's Hillsboro again. Tommy Crandall takes it 43 yards. Tigers on top, 14-0. North Crawford answers back in the second quarter. Dallas Hirschberger, 11-yard TD pass, but that makes the score 14-8. Later in the second, Hillsboro responds with another touchdown. Tyler Crandall breaks the tackle, and he takes this one in 53 yards. Hillsboro goes up 22-8, and they go on to win it by a final of 45-8. Also in that bracket, Pepin-Alma shutting out Weston, 48-0 the final there. Ithaca, the highest scoring team in the state, #1 seeded Bulldogs, averaging 55 points per game. And no change to that trend tonight. Opening kickoff from Fall River, squib to Luke Olkey, scoops it up and takes it to the house. 75-yard return, and it's 7-0 Ithaca in the blink of an eye. Next Bulldog possession, and they strike again. Joey Clary drops back and lofts it over the coverage into the breadbasket of Caleb Olson. It's 14-0 Ithaca. Still in the first, Bulldogs with the ball inside the 5, and Aaron Kepler scores on the inside run. 21-0 now the score. Ithaca doesn't reach that scoring average they've had this regular season, but they still win big, 48-6. On the other half of the bracket, Oliva Strum with an opening round home game against Loyal. Opening kickoff, Loyal kicking off. Oliva Strum gonna fumble it though, and Loyal picks up and gets the recovery. And a few plays later, they make it hurt. Riley Geiger finds Riley Fisher for the 11-yard score, and Loyal takes a 7-0 lead. Middle of the first, Loyal driving again when the Cardinals' Gage Everson ends the drive with an interception, but Loyal getting the win tonight. The final here, 28-6. Area Division I cross-country teams running at Toma this afternoon. Logan boys get a 2-3 finish from Henry Meager and Ben Pierce to lead the Ranger boys to a sectional championship, and Eau Claire Memorial wins the girls' race. Winona Volleyball in the section quarterfinals fall 3-0. Time for another timeout. More Highlight Zone after this break.